Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better. At Aquavita, visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Introducing Carvana Value Tracker, where you can track your car's value over time and learn what's driving it. It might make you excited.
Whoa, didn't know my car was valued this high.
It might make you nervous.
Uh-oh, market's flooded. My car's value just dipped 2.3%.
It might make you optimistic.
Our low mileage is paying off. Our value's up.
And it might make you realistic.
Car prices haven't gone up in a couple weeks. Maybe it's time to sell.
But it will definitely make you an expert on your car's value. Carvana Value Tracker. Visit Carvana.com to start tracking your car's value today.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps. Please bear with me. I am getting over a severe asthma attack. I apologize for the podcast not coming out this week like they were supposed to. Had a pretty severe asthma attack on Wednesday morning. Couldn't even physically move. Just took me forever to kind of slowly but surely get back up and get going after such a severe asthma attack. I'm still recovering from it. If you don't know what asthma is, basically just tightness in the lungs, or your lungs, your bronchial tubes actually kind of compress down so that you can't get oxygen in. And it can affect your breathing, it can affect your mental capacity, it can affect your physical ability to move around. It does a lot of things. I haven't had a severe asthma attack like that in I don't know how long. It's probably been 3 or 4 years or more. So that was weird. I was feeling great, and all of a sudden, bam, I woke up one morning and couldn't breathe. So I tried to do a podcast on Wednesday night. I just couldn't. I was so short of breath. I couldn't. I sounded like a smoker. I couldn't get a breath in as I was trying to talk. I did it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it all sounded like junk. So I just threw all those out. I don't want to put out a crappy podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Also, if you guys are enjoying our podcasts, we really need your help getting our name out there. If you can share the podcast on your social media, let a friend know who's interested in Bigfoots or the paranormal that we do a podcast. We're getting more and more people in our town here basically listening to our podcast, which is awesome. We want to get that out to everywhere though. So if you're listening to this podcast, we really appreciate it. And thank you very much for your support. And then if you can just support us a little bit more and share the podcast and let people know, that's basically how we grow. So, all right. So yeah, that's what happened to me. Normally I would have had 3 or 4 podcasts out by then Friday, but unfortunately they just got put on hold. So I will double down next week, try and get you guys as many podcasts as I can get you. But I wanted to kind of cover that and let you guys know what's going on. Everything's fine. Yes, I did trim my beard up. It was just not doing what I wanted it to do. So if you're watching the podcast. Okay, so we're working on upping our content, not only on our podcast, but on our YouTube videos as well. Becoming a production company, we're going to try and really take it to the next level for you guys. So we want to do some more things. We want to add some more content to what we've been doing. So far, essentially what it's been is the camera following Amanda or I around, or the camera in front of us, essentially looking out to see what we're seeing and hoping you guys are experiencing what we're seeing. What we really want to do is we want to have a little bit of both. We want to have somebody following us around and recording what's going on, what we're doing, but also recording possibly what's happening ahead of us or around us. We've constantly been just upgrading our audio because audio seems to be always an issue. Doesn't matter what you do, where you go, how expensive the microphone is. It just seems like the more you spend on things, it's the more you have to tinker and try and get things to be better. So we're going to be working with some other people. We're going to be trying to work with other paranormal groups and kind of have them come with us or go with them to locations and tell us their experiences. We're going to try and interview more witnesses. Witnesses are very hard to get. They most people don't like to share their story, and they especially don't like to share it publicly. They don't want people to recognize their voice or people to ridicule them, and that's really a sad thing, to be honest with you. I don't care if you're a believer or non-believer, somewhere in the middle. Nobody should be ridiculed for their opinion. I mean, if you have an opinion, you believe in them, you don't believe them, you think they might be real, you think there could be something to it, don't ridicule other people. Well, once you have an experience like this, it just changes you. And unfortunately, about 50% of the people that have an experience are terrified of these things. I've had, I don't know how many encounters. I've had a couple that were scary, but it was mainly because I did something that caused that to happen. And I just didn't realize I had pushed the boundaries a little too far. So, most of my encounters have just been them just standing there looking at me. And some of them have been out in the clear. Some of them have been like them peeking around trees or looking through bushes, and you can see their outline behind the bush. So bear with me for a second here. Sorry, this is what's been going on. My voice has been getting a little more and more coarse. So as I get better, my voice will clear back up, hopefully. So just bear with me here as I try and get through this. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to try and get more witnesses to come forward, either on or off camera, share their experiences. Maybe we just have their audio of what they experienced, or maybe if you just want to send us a letter or an email or a text. Hey, Matt, I was in this area, and a lot of people were doing that lately. So thank you guys for all the people who have been sending in your reports. I know it's not easy. I know it's kind of scary because you're not knowing if the person that you're talking to is believing you or not. But we treat everyone with respect. We treat everyone with compassion and stuff like that. Me having experienced them so many times, I know, a lot of what people say is like, okay, yep, had that experience. But yeah, it just, we want people to feel free to come forward. We don't want them to be afraid. We don't want them to feel like they're going to get ridiculed or anything like that. And I'm sorry to keep pounding on this, but it's something that has to, we just need to change. We need the reports, whether you're reporting it to us or the BFRO or any other organization out here in Texas or other states. Those reports help us to kind of pinpoint where a group of Bigfoots might be or where they're moving to. And if we can kind of put a pattern together, we can kind of figure out where maybe they're going or where they've been or where they're going to be. If you watch Expedition Bigfoot, I'm guessing that's what's happened. More than likely, when they say they've narrowed it down to a certain time period and certain days, a certain amount of days where the Bigfoots are in those areas, my guess is they've taken thousands of reports and clustered them into one small spot where, by small, I mean hundreds of acres, probably lots, 20, 30, 40 miles worth of territory, which is not easy to cover all that area. And then essentially they're basically pinning it based off witnesses, when they saw them, what time they saw them, what time of year it was, what was going on. Because we are entering, I believe we're entering a mating season right now. If you have Bigfoots around you, you're probably hearing them scream a lot. They might be throwing rocks or other things at your dwelling. They may be rocking your trailer if you have a trailer. They may be doing loud tree knocks and stuff like that. So that's what's going on right now. This is the perfect time to be out researching them and trying to document them. So we're going to be trying to add into our videos some reenactments. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. So we're going to be trying to add some reenactments in there of witnesses' accounts to see if we can, make our show a little bit more interesting for you guys. I hope you'll like that. And then I do need to talk about my cemetery trip because I believe it was successful.
On Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Now, you're saying, okay, it was successful. Where's the Bigfoot? That's not exactly what I meant. I mean, you have to take baby steps with this. I'm going into a new area that I've never been before based off a report that somebody gave me. I'm going down there to look and see if I can find any evidence of any kind of Bigfoot activity at all. So I went in, kind of walked around, looked around, and essentially I got to the left side of the cemetery and I found some footprints in the very back by the fence. There were several of them. I think there was 4 or 5 of them. I did videotape them, and if you watch our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that on our show. As I continue to walk along the back fence, I found some more footprints, different size. And then as I got to about the middle, oh, by the way, the cemetery in the back left third of it looks like it's private, backs up to private property. There's a fence there. So I didn't want to cross the fence or go over the fence from the cemetery into the other person's property without permission. So I stayed away from that. So I walked along the back of the fence until the fence basically ended, and it backs right up to the national forest. And I was able to walk kind of back there. And as I started walking back there, I started finding tree structures like teepees. And what do I mean by teepee? So imagine just a normal straight up tree, straight up and down, and then finding other tree trunks, not large. These were only like 2 or 3 inches in diameter, that have been snapped off at the base, laid up against this tree in different angles. I don't know who would sit there and do that for fun. I mean, I just don't understand that. But I found 3 of them, I think. And the more I looked around, the more I was like, okay. And then I did find some human trash, unfortunately, back there, which if I had a trash bag, I would have picked it up and carried it out. But yeah, I mean, I need to go back into that area and look and see what else is back there. I need to do more research on what's behind the cemetery. I would imagine, I know I saw a couple of ponds on private property on my way down to the cemetery. I'm not very far, maybe a tenth of a mile, maybe less from the cemetery. So, there's a water source, probably food. I mean, the forest is full of animals and stuff. So I would imagine there's probably deer, there's probably all kinds of things to eat down there. But I definitely need to go back into the cemetery and take a look and see if I can find more evidence. I was going to plaster cast that one footprint, but it was kind of a weird footprint. The heel wasn't very far in. You could definitely see the heel. You could definitely see the mid-dorsal break. What had happened is it had just rained heavily there, almost all the way up to the point where I had just gotten there, and the soil was dry. It's drying. It wasn't dry. This was a fresh print. Something I literally walked back there. So the heel had pressed in a little bit. The mid-dorsal break in the middle of the foot. Their feet supposedly can bend either way, up or down. Our feet bend towards the ground. Their feet supposedly can bend up as well, like our fingers, but back further. And the whole reason for that, I believe, is so they can go up terrain that's almost vertical. I believe that's how they traverse that kind of terrain. Their foot adapts; it goes up, and so they can get a better grip on the side of the hill or whatever. Anyways, we'll get into those theories and stuff later. But so yeah, I mean, and then where the mid-dorsal break was, you could clearly see it was like a mound, and then it looked like where the ball of the foot and the toes had gone in had given way a little bit. It was about an inch deep, and it was on the side of a berm. So not a very large berm, just about a foot berm, sloping back down from where the cemetery was into the other person's private property. But those toes were splayed out. They weren't like stuck together like our feet are. They were actually splayed. So that tells me that there's a good chance that it wasn't just some person walking around barefoot out there. The track size, they weren't huge. They were probably smaller than my feet. So I'm guessing this, if it was, and again, you have to take all this with a grain of salt. If it was a Bigfoot, it had smaller feet. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what made the footprints. I would imagine whatever it was. I don't think a person walked through there barefoot. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, somebody asked me, why do Bigfoots like cemeteries? That's an interesting theory. I don't know why Bigfoots are seen in cemeteries. The only reason I can think of is that they're cruising along the back of the cemetery. Maybe they see something that interests them, or maybe they like to come out and cruise through the cemetery to see what's there. Maybe they're bedding down back there. Maybe they think it's kind of like a fun place to play. I don't know. But they could be also chasing prey into that area, and essentially maybe that's why people are seeing them. But where you see one, usually there's multiples, and I would imagine there's probably, if there is a family group in that area, there's quite a few of them. So we will continue to explore the Huntsville area. I have a few other places I want to check out. I did check out the state park, and unfortunately, when I got there, It was getting dark already, and we've been getting actual rain here in Texas. So it was starting to get hot and humid, which is usually what happens right before we get rain. We get that humidity coming back in. So essentially, I was just drooping. I was so hot. It wasn't even funny. I was just downing. I think I downed a liter of water in about an hour. But I started at the base of the trail where this person said they had an encounter, which was down by the campsites. I only got about a quarter of a mile up. I did start experiencing some things. If you watch the video, you can see found some edible berries. So that's cool. Maybe that's a food source for them, or maybe they're hunting birds that are eating those. I don't know. At this point, everything's just theory until we can actually video record it, document it some way of them actually doing that. We'll just have to wait and see. I think what's going to end up having to happen is these big trail cams are big and clunky. They do make noise, and they're easy seen. There are other trail cams that are much smaller that blend in better to their environment, or we need to go out on a day where there's no rain or anything predicted for at least a couple, 3 or 4 days, and put out some other types of cameras that don't show the IR, because I'm pretty sure Bigfoots are seeing the IR. I would love to go down there one night, and I'd have to get permission to do this, but leave some cameras in the cemetery facing the back of the cemetery. Not like necessarily on trees, but down by the graves themselves, and see if anything comes walking into those areas. Have to put the trail cams or the other cameras in places where the Bigfoots won't be looking for them. Everybody says, "Oh, well, why aren't there more videos of Bigfoots caught on trail cams?" Who's to say there aren't? I know I have a couple, but yeah, I mean, people don't. Like I said, this goes back to the ridicule. People don't share their videos, and so share their trail cam videos, their trail cam pictures, or their stories because of ridicule. And like I said, if we could just get people to feel more comfortable coming forward and talking to us, we would be able to get hopefully some more reports and really get some decent evidence of them. We've documented so many things with Bigfoot related, but we can definitely do better. There's much better equipment out there now. We're going to work on getting some new equipment as well if we can in the near future, and upgrade our camera gear for better lighting situations, especially at night. So out in the forest, I mean, a little handy cam, I don't care how much iron light on you have on it, it's still hard to document more than about 5 or 10 feet away from you, because IR light, unless you're in the thick woods, it doesn't really bounce off anything, and it's pitch black out there. So anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Again, if you can please share our podcast. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share it on your social media. Tell your friends, your family, anybody who's into the paranormal. We'd love to have them become part of our podcast family. Again, we can't say it enough. Thank you guys all for your support. We will get some more podcasts out next week for you, and go from there. I'm trying to encourage Amanda to come back on here and tell her ghost stories, because people really like those. So that said, we'll catch you guys later, and you have a good one.
With
Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.